Welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm going to be revisiting, re-reviewing Child's Play 3. Now, I did a original review of Child's Play 3 way back when. It was probably August or something last year. Go check out that original review. And today, let's get into the video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you hit a big thumbs up, all that. Let's get into the video. Now, Child's Play 3, I'm gonna be brutally honest. There's people that love this film. They're like, it's crazy. And Child's Play 3 to me, it's one of those Chucky movies. It's one of those horror movies that has been more acceptable over the years. Like it has been more acceptable, but I'm not a huge fan of Child's Play 3 and a huge supporter, um, as I used to be. Now, is Child's Play 3 better than Seed? Of course. Of course Child's Play 3 is way better than Seed. But I shall say something. Child's Play 3, man, I gotta go ahead and get the bads out the way. The first thing that I don't like about Child's Play 3 is it feels rushed. It feels very rushed, and in some films you don't notice it, but in some films you will blatantly notice it. Like you will notice it. Like you really going to notice it. And this feels rushed. And I think I even heard that they rushed this film out as soon as they could. And that's why they did recast Alex Vincent, because they wanted this out as soon as possible. The other things I don't like is Chucky's look. Now I love Chucky's look, but for some reason I don't think his cheeks match his face, and that's weird to say, but like it's true. Like in some scenes, Chucky's cheeks just look really fat, and I'm not understanding where that went. Where did they decide, hey, we're gonna make his cheeks fat? I don't know who came up with that, but no. But I did like Chucky's look. But the other things I didn't like is the Tyler character. The little kid Tyler. Tyler, he's an okay actor. I'm not saying he was a bad kid actor. He, was, you know, given what he was got. Um, but I think Tyler could have did better if he was written differently and been more of a secondary character. And yeah, the other thing that I really don't like is it don't kind of flow right. You know, I, I feel like Andy should have been in the Tyler character's shoes, and they should have reversed the roles. And they should have not recast Alex Vincent. They should have had the kid actor come back, and I said reverse the roles, or wait a few years to have the real Alex Vincent back. But they could have switched the roles or something there. They just don't. This film doesn't flow right with the first one and this in Child's Play 2. It just doesn't flow right. Um, the other things I don't like about it is the score. And that's one thing, again, I love the Chucky franchise. I'm the biggest Chucky fan you will meet. But I shall say the Child's Play score kind of gets on my nerves because you go from a wonderful score then you go from this bland, boring, no suspense score. I'm not a fan, and I wish they would have, you know, um, did something like what they did with Child's Play 2 score, where they took parts of the original and they kind of made like a circus type theme to it a little bit, which it worked. Um, yeah, Child's Play 3 score is like the best, and that's one thing I have to nitpick. Like I said, I'm the biggest Chucky fan, but I gotta nitpick about this one thing about the whole franchise, that it doesn't have one score that carries it out. And for the first three movies, they should have kept that original score. In fact, they shouldn't have even did a revamped score. They should have went back to the original score from the original. I see some red tape, yeah, sure, but they could have got it. Now, the other things I don't like is the way it was shot. Some things felt very shot very poorly. I just didn't like the way something was shot. And again, as this film ages, as I age, I'm 18 at the moment, and The first time I saw Child's Play 3, I was 9 or 10. I was 9 or 10. I could have been 7 when I seen Child's Play 3. It was one of the two, but I didn't notice anything about this film because again I was young. But now seeing the film and studying the film and understanding film and how to direct and how to write films and how to produce them and all this, I'm not feeling Child's Play 3. And there's a lot of things I would have changed. Again, the Tyler character, I would have changed him. I would have changed the way it was shot, and I would have just changed the way it was written. Because I look at it like this. Here's the way I look at it. In your third installment, whether you do horror, whether you do, you know, superhero films, whatever genre of film you do, in your third installment, you need to have a bang. You need to have that big punch in your three-part trilogy. That's what you need to have. The Dark Knight Returns had it with the Bane character, in my opinion, and like a lot of the fight scenes. Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Warriors Part 3, they did it. Cosplay 3, it just repeats that same old formula. Chucky needs a body. There you go. That's the story. Chucky needs a body. That's the story for Child's Play 3. And again, I'm not hating on Child's Play 3. But as a person that's a die-hard Chucky fan and it's a die-hard horror fan and a die-hard fan of film and television and all this, I have to get with the realness of this film is not the greatest Chucky movies, but it's not the worst. The worst is Seed. This is not the greatest. You see what I'm saying? And my opinion, Child's Play 1, 2, and Bride are the best Chucky movies. And you can debate me on that if you want. For me, we have to go like Child's Play 2, the first one, then Bride. That's how it would have to go for me, so forth. But Child's Play 3, now the things I do like, I love Chucky's look, as I said, the cheeks, the only problem. I did like Brad in this. He brought his A game. Like, Brad made this movie. Like, anytime I'm watching Child's Play 3 now, it's usually for Chucky. Like, that's the only reason why I'm watching this. And the other thing is, like I said, I love Chucky's look for the most part. I like Chucky's one-liners. He has one of the best one-liners um, in the franchise. And that's one of the things, I would have to disagree with some people with. Some people say Chucky brought the one-liners in Child's Play 2. Chucky didn't go full one-liner until the third installment, and it shows. Like, it really shows, and in my opinion, it's my opinion only, Chucky is known for his one-liners, but you kind of have to agree with me. After Bride of Chucky, he kind of went away with the one-liners and with the witty one-liners. You know what I'm talking about. With the witty one-liners, off the top of your head type of one-liners. He kind of did away with them, and I don't know if Don is slowly started, doing away with the one-liners. I'm not sure, but Chucky's one-liners do show in Child's Play 3. Other things I do like the guy, I forgot his name, who does play Andy in this. I do like him. I do think he's a good actor. A shame he was not in more stuff because he is a good actor. The other things, I do like the barber, the guy who cuts the hair. I do like him, and I know some people may hate me for this. I think it would have been cool. They would have kind of had a twist where they blame some of the killers on the barber. If they would have had a twist like that'd been cool. I'm just saying that would be cool to me if they would have had a twist where they was blaming all these killings on the barber, the guy who cuts the hair, because the guy was kind of weird anyway. But eventually he gets killed by Chucky, so we can have that classic one-liner. There's just some things I would have changed, but again, that's what I do like about Child's Play. I like Chucky's look for the most part. I like the guy who plays Andy. I like the one-liners. I like the scenes when Chucky's in there. I like majority of this movie. I do like the carnival. I do like that they set it in the military, and that's something too. I do like, for the most part, I do like some of the shots in this. And you may say, well, I thought you didn't like none of the cinematography. I do like some of the cinematography. I do like some of the good directing moments. One of my favorite scenes in the movies when Chucky's in the hallway in the military school. He goes up, finds a letter that Tyler wrote him, and Chucky's got this big knife, and all you see is Chucky's shadow. That's a pretty rad scene, if you do ask me. Again, I do like some of the cinematography. I do like some of the shots, and it's not all, but I do like most. Um, and I do like the military school. The military school was a breath of fresh air. The carnival, fresh breath of air. Because how far can you go in a military school? And yeah, like Dom Mancini did what he could with this, and I feel like Dom Mancini didn't get what he wanted with this movie. He didn't get what he wanted to do. I'm gonna throw some facts out there. John Ritter was supposed to be in Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3 was supposed to be Child's Play 3 was supposed to open with these kids in the factory, um, telling the story of Charles Lee Ray and Chucky, kind of where Chucky at the stage became a myth and a mytho, etc. And John Ritter is a security guard of the good guy factory, because we know in Bride, he's like the security guard. He works at different stations and stuff like that. So he was one of the good guys, and he was one of the good guy security guards. He runs up to the kids and tells them to run off. I, it's the small details and the small things. John Ritter and Child's Play 3 would have been the icing on the cake, because we already know like Bride is connected to Child's Play 3, but to have that in Child's Play 3 and know that John Ritter was gonna be in Bride, it would have been awesome. That would have been an awesome scene. So that's what was gonna happen. It was gonna have a longer intro, the kids, John Ritter, and the opening that we know. Other things, Dom Mancini wanted 3 Chuckies in this. He wanted 3 Chuckies in this. We got the 3 Chuckies in Cult, but I would have liked to see the 3 Chuckies in Child's Play 3. And it makes sense. There's this military camp, they're an army. Chucky wants to start his own army. Mind blowing to me. But again, the technology was there, but Universal did not want to fund this movie. And I do find that interesting how successful Child's Play 2 was. Universal said, no, we're not going to fund about this month, this much, we're only going to fund this much, we're only going to produce this much, we're only going to shoot for this much, we're only going to do so much for this film. I do find that interesting. Why did Universal rush on, and why was there a strict budget? Like I do wonder that. Like, that does get me thinking, because Child's Play 2 was so successful, and this was such a hot commodity and such a hot product, especially back then. You'd have thought that we went all out and said yes and yes to whatever Don wanted, but they didn't. So that's kind of interesting. But Child's Play 3, I used to give this film a 9, but I'll have to give it an 8.5, because again, there's so much missed opportunity, and it's not Don's fault. It's not the actor's fault. It's Universal Studios' fault for not giving us what we should have gotten with Child's Play 3. But Child's Play 3 gets an 8.5, so that ain't that bad, But if you do enjoy the video, give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Catch you in the next video.